Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel. This is my Finish It Friday video for Friday, September 20th, 2024. So if you want to see what I've been working on this week, please stay tuned. I hope everybody has had a great week in your sewing room or your creative space. I have had a pretty good week. I have made some progress on my commission quilt. You can't really see it from this far on the camera, but I've been doing a lot of math this week, and I'll show you later in the video exactly what got worked on. But this has been a week where I played in my scraps a little bit. If you saw Tuesday's video, you've already seen one way that I played in my scraps, but I want to show you something else that I've been working on, just a few other things that have popped up. And we'll start with the string quilt. I haven't talked about this project in a while, and I have some fabric that I did not like, and I decided to use it as foundations for some string blocks. I picked three colors, navy, black, navy, gray, and green. And so I've been creating string blocks this week. These are my older blocks that I made. I have 4 that I've already made, but this week I made 2 more. So I'm going to show you those in a minute. These are interesting because I did not do a lot of pinning and pressing, and so they were very challenging. But this time when I tried them, I really took the time to press and pin, or pin first, then stitch, then press, and it seemed to work a little bit better. So these are the 2 blocks that I've done this week. They are really pretty, and I think that this quilt is going to be a nice one. I decided to use navy as my center strip, and it doesn't matter the width to me. And then I have green on one side and gray on the other side. And I have used, these are all just scraps. So whenever I'm cutting now, I'm being conscious of that. Whenever I cut some navy blue out of my big scrap bucket or some green or gray, that I put it aside into this project. The box is actually overflowing with fabric right now. I'm embarrassed to bring it over because it is overflowing, but this is something that's kind of, I guess it's going to be an every once in a while thing. I just got a desire to do something a little different, and so I pulled this one out and just made a couple blocks, and it really satisfied that need to just do a little bit of mindless sewing. So that's pretty cool. I also, as I was cutting this week, I got all of the pieces now for my Jacob's Ladder blocks. So you guys know that's my leader ender project. I have gray squares. All of my background is going to be the same, this gray paisley, but I'm using my scraps to create the other portions of the block. So I got my last, I think this is my last 5 or 6. Yeah, let's do 6 that are ready to go. I'll come up closer to the camera so that you can see them. Again, just from my scraps, out of my scrap bucket, or from my already pre-cut 5-inch squares and 2.5-inch squares. So these are pretty cool. And my goal was to have 30 of these blocks. And I have all 30 cut now, so that when I stitch them or when I'm doing my leader ender, I can just grab and go. I am not reaching trying to find the pieces that are going to go with this. So these combinations hopefully will be really nice in the quilt. It is going to be super scrappy, and my unifying force in this quilt is going to be that gray background. So I'm excited to have all of these cut, and really, honestly, at this point, if I wanted to, I could just complete this quilt top. I already have 11, I think it's 11 blocks done, either 10 or 11. My last one is over on the board now that I'm currently working on. So a lot of good, this is pretty fun to have this section done. I do have some 5-inch squares and 2.5-inch squares of the gray, but whenever I come across more of it, I just keep it in the box. So when I need it, I'll have it. And this gray is a 108 that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I used it for several quilts. So I have bits and pieces of it left over. So whenever I come across one, until I get this quilt done, all those bits and pieces will go here. And then when I'm done with the quilt, I will decide another thing to do with these gray strips. Okay. The last thing that I did in my scraps, this was from Tuesday's video, the diagonal 9-patch blocks. So if you watched Tuesday's video, you saw them. These are just 9 patches. Some of them I used 3 of each square, like in this one and in this one. And then for my last block, I used some potato chip blocks, 2.5 by 4.5, and then the rest of them are 2.5-inch squares. I like this block. I sort of want to make more, but guys, you know, I have so many projects going on. I really should not. So, but yeah, that's a nice way to play with some scraps, and it gets rid of 9 at a time. All you need is 3 that are the same color. I happen to use 3 exactly matching ones. It works. The last thing that I did, I think I said the last thing was the last thing, but not really. My 10-minute project, the 7s and 9s blocks, I was able to make 6 of those this week. And that is 3 sessions, because I can make 2 blocks in just a little over 10 minutes. So these are the 6 that I came up with this week. I am using in each block 2 greens, 1 red, and then the 3 neutrals, and all of my rectangles will be red. And then this block or this quilt will also have some larger squares. All of those will be red. All right, so these are my blocks for the week. So much fun pulling out the scraps, seeing what we could come up with. It's been a fun experience. Now let's check out my progress on the commission quilt, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Here is the progress on the commission quilt. I am still laying some pieces out to fill in those blank spots around the jerseys. And I have done just a little bit more on this. I think it's going to be a nice quilt. But like I said last week, it is hard work. So a lot of my energy is going to just trying to figure out this math and figure out where these pieces are going to go. Also, I don't want to put the same pieces next to each other. Like I was going to put this light blue down here under this dark blue jersey, but then that's right next to light blue. So it's just that kind of stuff, figuring out, number one, the measurements, and then which pieces go where. But I know that once I get this part done, it's going to be simple sewing. But it's just this math that I'm trudging through right now. Not super concerned about it because I know it's going to be great once it's done. Just got to get through this little step. Well, little big step. As I said earlier, I hope that you guys have been able to be productive in your sewing rooms. Let me know in the comments what you're working on, what you're excited about. Are there any gifts that you are starting to prepare for the holiday season? Right now, I don't have any, but I have the commission quilt, and there may be a few other things that come open that I need to do before the holidays. But like I said, right now, planning the scraps, getting these commission quilts done. I also need to work on that baby quilt and get that one done. That should be pretty quick once I get started on it. I just have not taken the time yet. Maybe next week we'll put 25 minutes a day on that one. That would be a good idea. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, leave them in the comments below. Thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.